Chris?
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all, Adam. You spend that sort of money, was it 70 odd million on a goalkeeper? And I've never been convinced. Too many errors. He talks a good game, but actually has to back it up on the pitch, and he hasn't done that. And if Chelsea, talk about their signings, which they've made for next season, and this season's been a good season. They've given young players an opportunity. And the question will be, can they kick on and challenge next season? I don't think they can with Kepa in goal.
It's quite strange that the two most under pressure keepers in the league are the two Spanish number ones and two. Sometimes it fluctuates who starts, who doesn't. De Gea and Kepa. Who offers more stability for you right now? Dan?
Well, it's neither.
Neither?
Is the answer. Well, they've both got mistakes in them. David De Gea has been magnificent in his time, and we've seen him, be absolutely outstanding. But he's clearly going through a difficult time with confidence. Kepa still looks a little bit weak and a little bit naive at times, and that's the problem. As a goal, you want your goalkeeper to just be solid, to be dependable, and to know what they're going to do. And that's not the case with either of them at the moment. They're both a little, I think because they're lacking confidence, they may be trying a little bit too hard, and that's causing them more problems.
Chris, your take on this?
Yeah. I'd take De Gea over Kepa. Ever since Kepa's been at Chelsea, I've not been convinced. I think De Gea, okay, I don't think he's been great for 18 months, but before that, he was bailing Manchester United out, game in and game out. He's lost a bit of form. The worry for, talking about Manchester United now, is that Dean Henderson's had a great season and could well be Man United #1 next season. But if Chelsea want to kick on, then Kepa, they can't keep him. I know he's a lot of money. They spent a lot of money, but I don't see him improving that much. Too many errors.
I'll give you 45 minutes to think about who they could potentially buy as his replacement and who would want to buy Kepa as well. Well, I've given you gents plenty of time to think about who the replacement keeper could be. I asked the question at half-time. I'm delivering on my promise here. Any names that you have for me prepared?
Well, if you had all the money in the world, which sometimes Chelsea do, you'd go out and get Jan Oblak. But is he going to leave? Is he going to leave Atletico Madrid? I can't see that at the moment, unless, well, they might do, who knows. But Onana from Ajax, very, very good young keeper, which probably wouldn't cost the earth. He's probably not on huge money, and he'd be maybe a lot easier to get than Jan Oblak would be.
Do you agree with that?
What about Dean Henderson? He can't get in at United. Would he want to go back to Sheffield United? Why wouldn't Chelsea?
Would they sell him to Chelsea? That would be my. I would say, look, you're on a contract. You're not going there because that's they're direct rivals next season, aren't they?
Yeah, I know that. But if he was that good, if they rated him that highly, then they'd put him in the first team, wouldn't they?
Well. And I think that's what might happen next season. But that you're right, Chris. That could force their decision. If Chelsea, for instance, or someone else comes in with a big offer, he might say, "Well, look, either you put me in as #1, or I'm going, and I'm going to cause problems." So that could cause a little bit of a dilemma at Manchester United.
Is that what do you expect then? Who is going to be the keeper for Manchester United next year and for Chelsea, for both of you? If it was down to Henderson, De Gea, and Kepa.
I think the way Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was talking about De Gea this week, he will stick with him. I don't think that's the right decision. Chelsea, I'm not totally sure. I would bin him, but I think Frank may be thinking along those lines. If he wants to win something, then they have to improve in that area. It's as simple as that.
Look what Pep done. Pep, before he even came in, he went, Joe Hart, not having it, gone. And then he brought in Bravo, tried it for a season, didn't work out. And of course, we saw the same thing at Liverpool. Goalkeeper cost them, out you go. They win the Champions League, and now they've won the league. We've seen it for years. You've got to have a good keeper, to win the title. It has to happen. How many years did we say that Arsenal didn't have a good enough keeper, to win the title? So I think Chris is right. Chelsea will have to be seriously thinking about, is Kepa good enough to take them back to where they want to be.
Who do you expect?
And Frank will know, Adam. Frank will know, Adam, that, you know, he's played with Peter Cech. He will know the level. He will know the standard, the quality of keeper which Chelsea will need if they want to challenge Liverpool and Manchester City. And boy, they'll take some challenging. So, you know, he's got to do something about that.
What about yourself, Danny? Who do you think is going to be in goal for United next year and for Chelsea?
I also think it'll be David De Gea. Again, I'm not completely convinced. I think there might be a trade-off with Dean Henderson to say, look, just do one more season out on loan, one more season perhaps at Sheffield United, and then you come in the season after that maybe as the number one. Whether he's prepared to accept that. He's still young, don't forget. He's still learning the game. That might be a wise move for him. That might not be the worst thing for his career to do. Chelsea, the only reason that it would not be Kepa, because Chelsea can't get somebody in because of all the issues around what's happened with lockdown around the world and COVID and everything else, and the transfer window is a little bit strange. You know, they've already bought players in, financial fair play. I think the rules are slightly relaxed now because of everything that's happened. But the transfer market is going to be different to what it has been in recent times. And Chelsea might just have priorities in other areas where they'd rather spend.
Yeah, the Spanish Inquisition continues for the two Spanish goalkeepers.